And I had nothing to do with it. I mean, I didn't even have to go in as a security guy to sit that, the way these big bulky guys go in with it. I just had to sit outside because these were apparently very respectable clientele that did so. The girls didn't need security. But this one time, this girl Michelle, she went in dressed up in like the sort of like a nurse's outfit or something. So, and she was a lovely girl, um, but very young. You know, too young to be doing what she was doing. And she went in, and after about 25 minutes or whatever, she came running out and she was holding on to the ripped clothing and stuff like that there. And I went, what the fuck? So I got out and got her into the car and said, what happened? And she said, some of those guys in there were being really rough. So I went into the house and said, what the, what is that? And they were going, well, she's fair game, she's fair game. And I banged one of them and said that's fair game, all right. There, you don't have to give her any money, but you take the change out of that. And then I got into the car, and Vic had a Rolls Royce, so I'm driving this Rolls Royce through Bangor, and there's a police checkpoint, which back then, where they were just checking the cars for for explosives or weapons or whatever, but like just it wasn't for all, 'cause these days the police checkpoints would be like for to stop you to see if you've been drinking and driving or whatever, but no, back then they were looking for weapons and explosives, or if you were a terrorist, or because this was like 1 a.m. or whatever. So what are you doing? Out driving about. At that time, and the cop came around. And they didn't have the sort of the fancy beacons now. It was just standing with the hand, and he came around and he sees this Rolls Royce. He sees me with the hair down to here. He sees Michelle with her clothes ripped off in the passenger seat, dressed up like a sexy nurse. And I'm sitting there, at the wheel of a Rolls Royce. And I said to the cop, I know what you're thinking. I said, but I'm not responsible for that, I promise you. And Michelle, she had actually fallen asleep. So she jumped up and went, what's going on? And I went, can you explain to the officer that you're a kissogram and that they should actually be going back to the house where you came from to the arrest the guys, that sort of manhandled you, sort of thing. And she did, and I don't know whether they went back to the house or not, but they let me on through. But I mean, there's me in a Rolls Royce, driving through Bangor with a kissogram girl with her like, and I got back to Vix, and he said, well, how did it go? And I went, and I dropped Michelle off at this stage. She was living with her mommy. How did it go? And I went, Vic, this isn't gonna work. So I went from that to him saying to me, look, listen, seriously, I think you could be a tattooist. So forget about drawing the flash, forget about the kissogram thing, because there had also been times whenever I was driving girls to the houses and stuff, and it had been like false calls sort of thing, just arsing about, So I mean, maybe this girl was dressed up as a sort of a police lady, ready to sort of crack a whip or whatever, and some wee old man of 82 would answer the door, not knowing somebody had just done it for a bit of crack, and it was just open, it wasn't a professional setup, so it was always open to being abused. So third time lucky, I was thinking, right, okay, I think maybe I could become a tattooist. I would like to become a tattooist because I was obviously an artist, in my heart, in my head. And I thought if I could do tattoos, then I can get the same sort of money that Vic's getting. And back then, he was getting good dough. He was getting good money. So a week went past anyway, and then he came and got me, and he brought me down to the tattoo studio, and he said, I've solved our fainting problem. I was going, what? But so when they faint, you put them outside, in the fainting chair. So what used to happen was that, sometimes a girl or a guy would come in, and as soon as the needle, went into their arm, bang, out. So I would bring them outside, set them in a chair, and then when the air, sort of, give them some sugar, not when they're unconscious sort of thing, but when they're coming around, give them a bit of Mars bar or whatever to get sugar into them so that they'll sort of recover. And most of the times they were happy enough with the line and then they just left. In fact, we'd always take a deposit. So he had the 70 quid or whatever, and he had just done a line, and that was that. But I was saying, but how much more solved can your fainting thing be than just the air around their head sort of thing? And he went, I know, just got a recent acquisition, and I think it'll get them back in again, a wee bit quicker sort of thing. And I went, well, maybe he's bought like canisters of oxygen or something, or whatever, So I went down anyway, and there was this girl sitting, and she was really, really nice, but she wanted a tattoo on her boob. Now when that happened, I got offside, because that was private, so curtain drawn, and then Vic would be able to do the thing. So Vic turned around to me, and after about 13 seconds of me hearing the bzzz, and went, we've got a fainter. And I said, right, okay. And he went, whoa, I'm bringing her out to the chair. And I went, okay. See, I couldn't go in because, the girl was there with her boobs out, so, she could have, said anything before or after, whenever she sort of came around. So I just stayed offside. So I was over, and my light box was still there. So I was doodling away, and designing new things, and all I heard was this, ah, and then and I was going, what the hell? So I went. I said, I have to find out what's going on, because it has Vic assaulted that girl or whatever. So I had to go into the curtain, and there she was sitting there going, oh, just get the thing done and get it over and done with. And Vic going, and I went, what the hell? What happened there? And he went, well, I didn't do anything on her. And I'm saying, well, why? She went out to the fainting chair. Now she's back in again. She wants the tattoo completed, but she's in like ahead of time, whatever. And he said, it's just, and I went over to the window. There was like a wee kitchen where, and the door led out to the back of the fainting chair. And I looked out, and he bought a fucking wolf. Like a 100% real wolf, not a half wolf, or a German Shepherd, or an Alsatian that looked like a wolf. This was like full blown timber wolf, red wolf, Arctic wolf, whatever way and it's prowling about the place, and I went, why did you put the girl out there, on the seat, knowing that there was a fucking wolf out there, you bought this wolf. He says, no, he says, I keep it well fed, so there was no way, that it was going to, be of any danger to her.